This episode is kind of long. If you're unsure about listening to Storybook Ending, I highly suggest you listen to the whole review because it gives you a lot of context and insight into the podcast. But if you just want a short review, here's a recap. Storybook Ending is an actual play Spell the RPG show about public domain stories coming to life in the small town of Foxjumps. The 4 players, called speakers, are given power over words. They can cast spells with out-of-character Scrabble tiles. It's an explicit show, mostly because of the language used, and thus this episode will not censor curses. Full disclosure, I am married to the keeper of this podcast. I know I am biased, but I do truly believe that this is a show that deserves more attention than it's gotten. It's whimsical and fun, with queer main characters and cast, and an interesting storyline. Highlights include, Margie the innkeeper is a delight, she's hilarious. Viola the librarian is reasonable but spiteful in a fun way. Tabs, a fox from Aesop's Fables who was turned into a human, is out of their depth in a very interesting way. Orion, the newcomer, brings drama and tension to the show with his mysterious backstory, and the keeper of stories, Loxley, weaves together a world that feels real and alive. Lowlights include, the first few episodes are kind of rough with the microphones, but it quickly improves. Still, I got it. Also, I feel like the trailer does not do the series justice. It's good, but it was made very early on, and I think it's due for an upgrade that I'm sure will come soon. In conclusion, this show just gets better and better as time goes on. If you don't love the first episode, then fuck it, jump to the latest one and enjoy the spoilers so you can get a feel for the vibe. And now onto the full review. This is Indie Frequencies, and this week we are talking about Storybook Ending. It's an actual play podcast, which is a little different from the usual audio drama thing, but it's really good, so it's worth it. And this week I have here with me as a guest star, Killian. Hello.
Hello, I'm Killian.
And pronouns?
They, them.
Cool. And as always, I am Haven, also they, them, or AM. Okay, so Storybook Ending is, according to this description, a tale of humans, the stories they make, and the words that make them. In this TTRPG actual play podcast, classic literature is coming to life in the small town of Foxjumps, and the 4 new speakers, beings with power over the magic of words, are the only ones who can deal with it. They post every Wednesday, and they have Killian's character, Tabitha the Fox, Addie's character, Margie the Innkeeper, Danny's Viola the Librarian, and Grimm's Orion the Newcomer, and of course, Loxley, the Keeper of Stories. Okay, first up, characters. My favorite character is Margie because I'm just weak for Margie. She's really funny.
You're so right for that.
Right? She's sweet, she's fun, and every interaction she has is hilarious.
Oh, she's so wonderful.
Do you have a favorite character, including NPCs, besides Tabs?
I'm very partial to Tom.
Yes, me too. I think Tom is my favorite NPC, for sure. Tom is a...
juvenile scoundrel.
Juvenile scoundrel, yes, that's good. Tom is a graffiti artist in the town of Foxjumps, and he's maybe a little gay going on for Tabs.
A little gay.
A little.
I don't know why you would say that. Sorry, I'm not here. It's like I'm not even here.
Okay, second favorite NPC.
Oh, I really love John Noble.
It's one of those love to hate things.
Yeah, exactly. I love a good villain.
John Noble is the real estate mogul. He has an intimidating building called the Castle in Foxjumps, not lovingly called the Castle.
Loathingly called the Castle.
Loathingly, there you go. And John Noble is sort of an antagonist in that he's the worst. He likes to make sure everyone's following the law, and by the law he means whatever he pays the law to be.
No, you're right with that.
Let's see, what else did I have here? I had my second favorite NPC, but I've honestly forgotten because I love them all so much.
God, yeah.
Oh, Benny. I love Benny.
Benny's so cute.
Right?
He's so silly.
He is so silly, and I love his crush on Tom. I don't know, it's so real for him to see this guy painting and instantly be like, oh.
That's kind of cute, actually. And then his dad being, the cop being like, you cannot like him, actually.
That is not allowed. That's the worst person you could have a crush on. And then right behind Benny, I think, is Jojo, because Jojo's growing on me. He wasn't my favorite at first. He's the town cop, but he's fun and he's nice. He's a big supporter of the speakers.
Mm-hmm. Especially after the arc that we just recorded. I love him.
Honorable mentions for NPCs include Shannon. She works at the Lazy Dog, which is the inn, tavern, bar, What other things does it do?
Bed and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast. Run by Margie, one of the speakers. She works there. Also, Leela. I think that's the name of Orion's grandmother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, Leela Mura is also incredibly cool. She comes up occasionally in flashbacks and other things I won't mention. But she's a fun way to add depth to the world and the characters she's connected to. Oh, and Bear. Bear the dog at the Lazy Dog.
Oh, Bear's so good.
I love Bear. I need to draw art of Bear.
No, you should.
Okay. Other things that are just kind of surface level. Some of the mics are a little rough in the first episode. Specifically, Viola's has like a hum in the background that I'm sure there was no way to get rid of that in post. But it improves really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And by the other episode I really re-listened to was episode 8, and it's already fixed by then, I think. So that's not really a problem, I feel. So the basic premise of Storybook, which we're getting to a little late here, is that public domain stories, such as Robin Hood, Sherlock, anything in the public domain, has the potential to come to life in this town of Foxjumps. And then the speakers, our 4 main characters, Margie, Viola, Tabs, and Orion, they have to sort that out, keep it from causing problems in their town, while also at least attempting to keep magic from getting out to the entire town, and that becoming a whole big thing. So that's the basic premise. No knowledge of the stories is strictly required. Like, it makes it fun to know secrets and kind of be able to predict what might happen, but it's not required. You can go into it blind, not knowing anything about these stories, and still be fine. Okay. Highlights. Great stories, great characters, love the recaps. I am happy that you're moving to shorter episodes because my attention span is so shit.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
Now, let's talk about Tabs. Tell me about Tabs.
I played Tabitha the Fox from Aesop's Fables, who was transported into the real world through magic. So we start with him being new to town and just kind of lying to the other speakers about being a human. And so he's just trying to keep up this facade that yes, he is human, despite very well not knowing anything about phones or anything.
Just kind of isekai, dropped into this world.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Tabs
He's
dearly.
my beloved.
And yes, Keely and I have written so much fanfic involving Tabs. Often involving Tabs and Tom, who they kind of have a thing going on.
A little bit.
But, you know, spoilers. A little bit. So, maybe a little sneak peek. What do you see happening for Tabs' character arc? Like, what's something you eventually want to touch on?
Oh, okay. Definitely, like, the arc of becoming human, because, like, of course he's a human in shape and form, but he's still grappling with the fact that he is stuck with that form now. So him, like, learning to overcome it and learning the mundane parts about life now. Like, I've written it before, but learning how to deal with phones and learning about cars and everything, because he's a fox from like 600 BCE that lived in a forest, so he didn't have access to all these things.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Yeah, so him learning about like just mundane parts of the world that like we don't really think about, but him just sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck capitalism is. And just dealing with that type of thing.
Okay, so this is a little going on a tangent, but let's talk about the ship name for Tom and Tabs.
Oh no. So we tried so hard to combine their names for a good while before we finally were just like, okay, we just need to go conceptual because Tabitha and Thomas don't really work. And we were just like, okay, they're an artist and they're a fox. So we came to the conclusion that they would be really cute as Arctic Fox.
Arctic Fox. That's so cute. I love it.
I love them so much.
The official ship name. Okay, other things about the show. It is so fun. They use Spell the RPG, which is a thing where they use Scrabble tiles. You basically roll dice to see how many tiles you get, and then you use the tiles to build a word that you can then cast as a spell. So we're going to cast a couple of spells, me, Killian, and the DM Loxley. Just to kind of show you how it works and to, you know, have some fun. Let's start with just 1d6 plus 3, I guess, and either make just a funny spell, an interesting spell, or a spell to get Storybook some more listenership. To get it out in the world. That's what we're going
I
for.
can't just tell if I'm being condescended.
No.
Also, hi, I'm Loxley. I'm the keeper of Storybook Ending.
Hello.
Oh, you got some bad letters.
We got some bad letters. We have OLSXTT. Oh, Lox. There you go.
Whoa!
Whoa.
That's
me.
pretty good.
Good thing I introduced myself just a second ago.
We have a lot of fun. There we go. All right, I feel like this is the best. We're going to try this time with 3d6.
I think
I
that
like
might be
lots.
Lots?
For...
Oh, yeah, I
for-
forgot we had an S. So lots, yeah. Lots of fun. Lots of upcoming attention, hopefully, because this show deserves the attention. It's so good, and it has such a, so fewer listeners than it needs to have for how good it is. Also, they are on the Actual Place Discord server, which I'll link in the description, where you can talk to the creators of Actual Play podcasts and stuff. It's really fun, and you can see, fan art and art the creators have made. It's very cool. Okay, next spell. Okay, there we go.
Oh, so many.
We'll do those letters.
So
That's
many
a lot.
vowels. so many E's.
We have 17 letters. A lot of E's, yeah. Holy shit, 5 E's. Okay, what do we have here?
Ayo.
Ayo? Gay. I love gay. There we go. That's the winning one, I
Gay
think.
people be like.
Gay people be like. Yep, okay.
I love gay. Okay.
Can we agree on gay is the winning word here?
Absolutely, yes.
Alright, we're casting the spell gay on all of our listeners.
For the record, I'm also gay. I'm not being homophobic, I swear.
Alright, final one.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm gonna clear the spell map.
We have 18 this time. Okay. You could do leave?
Leave a like and comment.
Leave a like and comment. We can cast leave as we end the call. Could do sun, have a Helio spell. At some point, Margie casts... Is it Helio?
Yeah.
Helio, yes. To cauterize her wound. Which you can imagine how that goes.
Addie loves to make things difficult for Margie.
Truly.
It's so funny,
and we love her for it.
We do. We love her for it.
Especially since with spell, you can have misspellings that, make your spells just a little bit wonky, and light within it is one of my favorite instances of this.
Yes, light L-I-T, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is so fun.
Because she floated while trying to,
How many times has she used that now?
3?
Yeah, I think so.
3.
She made it permanent.
Oh.
So she cast it 2 separate times, and then used it as a permanent spell the 3rd time.
That's amazing.
It was beautiful.
That's so cool. Okay. I think that's a... which ones did we settle on? I guess we can do leave. But I encourage everyone listening to make their own Fox Jumps OCs and maybe make, permanent spells for them with, Scrabble tiles and stuff. Because it's just really fun to make
so
characters
fun.
in this system. It is. Okay, let me look through my notes and see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Oh, and this is very specific, but in episode 8, Tom straight up says to Tabs, the town's not usually this strange, which has to be the biggest lie. There's no way this town was normal before the speakers popped up. I don't believe him.
I don't believe it.
Harumph. Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Maybe Tom just hasn't seen it all.
Maybe he's been getting the easier side of things recently, and now he's finally seeing the light. Being dragged into the light forcibly by Tabs.
Truly. By complete accident. That poor boy.
Orion, one of his big starting things is that he just bought a house. He's so rich. And he just bought a house in Fox Jumps, but he realizes the house is awful. It's barely a house, it's the shell of a house. So he's working on a track that he has to fill out to slowly repair the house. And at one point he commented, "Great, now my house is a boss fight," which I just thought was really funny.
He also has a small little bird named Eagle that lives in his house.
Yes! Where did Eagle come from again?
We found him in the woods, and I might have fed him a magical coin, so now he speaks.
As you do.
Whoops. But Orion's house is his summer home, so he just hangs there all the time.
Yeah. Roommates. Okay, so we've talked about Tabs and a little bit about Orion. We've talked a little about Margie. She runs the bed and breakfast, inn, tavern, all that, the lazy dog. And she also is a postal worker. And what else does she do? She does a lot, right?
She has a food truck?
Oh, a food truck. I want to
think.
see more of that.
She does so much. I can't remember it all.
She does. She's an all-rounder. She gets everything done. But we haven't talked a lot about Viola. She's the librarian. She is very put together. She has a good head on her shoulders. And I think she brings a lot of reason to the group when there otherwise often isn't much.
Oh, and she gets us a little bit of time with her crush, or like somebody that's crushing on her, Edward, who's just utterly wonderful.
Yes, I can't believe I forgot about Edward when I was talking about NPCs. Edward is the very sad, sad man. And he's having the roughest time.
That poor man.
All he wants is to go on a date with Viola, and she simply will not allow it.
She is not into him at all.
Nope, not even a bit. But I love all the characters, the main characters, the speakers, and the NPCs. They all create such a lively, full town, and it's a really fun world. I like it a lot. I'm so excited for every episode that comes out. I get to hear secrets because I'm the DM's spouse. But that just makes me want to listen more because now I know all these secrets and I don't get to hear them played out yet.
You'll hear half a conversation whenever we record.
Exactly. I'll hear Loxley say things and I'm like, what is the context?
Yeah.
Also, a note. If you have listened to Apocalypse Radio, there are some familiar voices. Killian plays Esme in Apocalypse Radio, and obviously Tabs in Storybook. And then Mason's VA, Loxley, is the Keeper. Let's see. Did I have anything else to talk about? Oh, Headspace afterwards is important. Headspace generally is very good. It's a whimsical show. It's very fun, lighthearted. The only thing I would watch out for are Orion's big scenes. They tend to be a bit more on the angsty side with, like, more of the hurt before the comfort. There hasn't been much comfort yet, actually, although Margie has tried her best.
She keeps trying.
She's doing her best out here. But yeah, Orion's scenes definitely are a little heavier. I don't think the episodes generally end on those scenes, though. So I'd say Headspace afterwards, in general, typically very whimsical and fun. It leaves you feeling good. It has 21 episodes and 2 one-shots. I need to listen to the one-shots again because I barely remember them. But if I recall, they're very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all I wanted to talk about.
Hell yeah.
Storybook Ending is a lovely actual play podcast that I highly recommend. And it's not just because I'm married to the DM, the Keeper. Thank you for joining me, Killian. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. Okay, and I will play the trailer now.
Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, the story was just beginning. The story of 4 speakers, beings granted power over the universal language, over words and the power they represent. Meet Tabitha the Fox.
My dear, your wits are not nearly as powerful as your beauty. Learn from this, my dear, is what he'll call up to the crow.
Margie the Innkeeper.
I think you might need some help. And I really mean that, like, nicely. I'm not trying to say that you're weird or anything. I think we're all a bit kooky in this town.
Viola the Librarian.
No, Edward, there are no ghosts in the library. We've been over this many times. There are no hauntings in this library. We're not built over a burial ground. No one died here. There are no ghosts in the library.
And Orion the Newcomer.
I want to give it a chance, even though it's not looking good. I've only spent the day in this town, and I'm sure it's better than where I came from anyways.
As classic literature springs to life in the small town of Fox Jumps, these speakers must learn to tell their own story. Storybook Ending is an actual play podcast using Spell the RPG by Whimsy Machine Games. Find us bi-weekly on Wednesdays wherever you listen to podcasts.